Hello, everyone. Welcome to Life Unmuted. I'm Darrell. You ever just stop to think we're created by God, made in His image, breathed into life by the Creator of everything. And yet that same God who made us also says that if we live wrong, we can be judged forever. Doesn't that feel unsettling? Like, how do we process a reality where the one who created us also holds the power to condemn us for eternity? Why would God create us? Just to judge us? Let's talk about it. We're created on purpose, first off. You're not an accident. You didn't just show up out of nowhere. Psalms 139 says, God formed you in your mother's womb. He saw you, he saw your unformed body. He wrote out your days before you even lived one. Genesis says he made man in his image, male and female, intentionally designed. So from the jump, this ain't a random. God made you, thought about you, loved you, and that's a beautiful thing. But then it gets serious, because if we were created on purpose, that means we were created with purpose, and purpose comes from accountability. Free will is the plot twist. So why not just make us perfect robots who never mess up, right? Why give us the ability to fail? That's the tension. Because love doesn't exist without choice. You can't force someone to love you. And God didn't want a bunch of programmed people who had no option but to worship Him. He wanted a relationship, real love, real obedience. But for that to exist, you had to have the option not to love Him too. And with that choice came consequences. Deuteronomy 30:19 says, I set before you life and death, blessings and curse. Now choose life. So God gave us a path and the freedom to walk off it. And He's been calling us back ever since. But why eternal judgment? Here's where it gets hard. Why would God allow eternal consequences? Why not just a slap on the wrist? Time out. Let us try again. Because God isn't just loving. He's holy. He's just. And sin, our rebellion, violates His nature. Romans 6:23 says, the wages of sin is death. That's not emotional manipulation. That's law. That's consequence. You sow sin, you reap death. It's not that God is waiting to throw people into hell. It's that we keep choosing a path away from Him. And He honors that choice. Hell isn't just a punishment. It's a final confirmation of a life that said, I don't want God. And God's like, okay, that's heavy, but it's real. Enter grace and a way out. But here's where the beauty shows up again. God doesn't just warn us. He rescues us. John 3:16. We've heard it, but let's really feel it. For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever shall believe in Him shall not perish but have everlasting life. God doesn't want anyone to be judged forever. That's why Jesus came. To take the judgment, to make a way back, to carry the weight we couldn't. So yeah, there is eternal judgment, but there's also eternal mercy. The question is, will we receive it? Um, I'll be honest. This whole thing humbles me. The idea that God, who created me, who gave me breath, who watches me every day, also holds my eternity in his hands. Makes me want to live differently, not out of fear, but out of reverence. Because if he cared enough to create me and loved me enough to save me, then I should care enough to follow him, to honor him, to not waste this life he gave. We're created by God. That doesn't make us exempt from judgment. That make us responsible. I don't know where you stand with God. Maybe you're a believer who just needed this reminder. Maybe you're someone still searching, still wrestling. But I hope this makes you think, not just about hell, but about the love of God who gives us the both truth and grace. So let me ask you, if you really are created by God, how are you living the life he gave you? Let's talk about it in the comments. And if this made you pause, share it with someone else who's asking the same questions. Because this is Life Unmuted. I'm Darrell. I love talking about topics like this and, just thoughts in my mind, things that most people don't want to deal with or talk about. And I hope you walk on this journey with me as we try to uncover the truths of life and get some answers to these questions that we have. I'll see you guys in the next one.